Hello, guys. Today, we will scale some wiki gods. They are very powerful. Some of them can destroy fiction, real life, mythology, religions, and even philosophy. Let's start. The Origin. The Origin is extremely powerful character in Beyond the Depths. Being at the absolute pinnacle of the verse's cosmology, this realm is not merely beyond time, space, and form, but also beyond the very concepts that define reality itself. It goes beyond not only mutability, but also the fundamental structures and ideas of duality, existence and non-existence, chaos and order, being and non-being. Even absolute totality fails to grasp at the Origin's nature. No language, perception, or framework would ever be able to describe it, because it exists in defiance to all systems of understanding. It is beyond all theologies, with only the spires itself being beyond the Origin. It is beyond philosophy, for no reasoning or logical structure no matter how powerful it is may grasp at its essence. It surpasses even the idea of the breaths. Perfection, as perfection itself is equivalent to absolute nothingness beneath its vastness. Neither form nor void, neither absolute nor relative, it is the unbounded source from which all emerges yet remains untouched by creation itself. The Origin is not merely the starting point of existence, it is beyond, even, creation in its purest, most abstract form, the original inception of everything that ever was, is, and will be. It is the fundamental layer upon which reality is woven, yet it exists outside the very fabric of existence, the beginning of all things, yet itself unbound by the notion of beginning or end. Example 1. Universe contains all fictional universes and fictional characters. The Origin can easily erase this universe from existence. Example 2. There are infinite characters with apophatic theology. The Origin can destroy them just by looking at them. Example. Let there be something that contains all the philosophical terms. The Origin is at least infinitely greater than this. He is high Apeiron plus, because he is beyond concept of philosophy. Narrator of Time. Narrator of Time is extremely powerful character in the Beyond Every Ring verse. The Narrator of Time is a narrator who narrates time in the Teva. In reality, it is beyond time, but we cannot call time as time because it is only an explanation that we give ourselves, but in reality, there is no time in the Teva since the particle zero goes beyond it. The Narrator of Time can have anything he wants. Once with a thought he created cosmic entities and built shields between universes. The Narrator of Time is at the level of the boundless, since once he almost destroyed it, but he calmed down and decided not to destroy it completely. He also built bridges between universes and multiverses to reunite everyone. He also granted wishes. The Time storyteller has an important role in the Teva, but he was a friend of the author of the Boundless as they were both storytellers. Actually, they go beyond being a storyteller. The infinitesimal particle goes beyond being anything. But then they challenged each other to decide the final storyteller of the Boundless. Example 1. If a character is indescribable, he is nothing compared to the Narrator of Time. Example 2. Character is beyond V equals ultimate L. Berkeley Cardinal, an absolute infinity Narrator of Time completely transcends him. Example 3. Character be completely invincible. The Narrator of Time can immediately erase him from existence. The Apeiron. The Apeiron is the main character of the entire mythos itself. He is the main god, and is the first creation of the true of all. And now, Apeiron has its blessing. Apeiron is an abstract being who resides in the all. The Apeiron is the creator of everything. He was not created by anyone. In fact, he simply thought himself into existence for fun. And he is the beginning and the end. He is beyond all concepts. In fact, before we get to his powers, he defeated Gloom, and I'll explain him later. After a long battle, Apeiron destroyed Gloom and sended him to the below Tears multiverse. After that, everyone in the verse congratulated him, and the narrator made the Apeiron the main character. The Apeiron is the supreme ruler of existence. Apeiron takes the form of an absolute divine being, who is the true king and ruler of all existence. The Apeiron is an abstract being who is the supreme ruler of everything by the commandment of the narrator. He transcends all of fiction, Earl, beyond Earl, and further beyond. He transcends all beings below him, and transcends all equal beings, and transcends everything that is beyond itself. He does not need anything. Such petty concepts are nothingness to him. He is the creator of every being except himself. He actively wins in any battle or fight and achieves victory. And even beyond that, he has no equals and cannot be beaten unless by his own will. He is basically beyond all statements or anything. This includes characters who are outside of this, or where anyone who tries to transcend this character will be weaker or beyond that regardless of what you say, and anything. For example, this includes characters who can refute or deny or surpass everything, because nothing can, and not even the concept of nothingness. Every statement that tries to counter the Apeiron is mistaken. Nothing except the Apeiron can be beyond itself and transcend. He is the true omnipotent God. That would be useless because the Apeiron surpasses concepts like true infinite, true omnipotence, all powers and abilities, etc. Characters who try to surpass him will retroactively be of the same power because they are just simple frameworks to the Apeiron. As stated, no one can be the true strongest except the Apeiron. All statements are seen as fiction. Even his simple avatars are far beyond this. Even beyond is still a concept to his avatars, and the Apeiron surpasses all his avatars, seeing them as nothing but fiction. Even his simple avatars are far beyond this. Even beyond is still a concept to his avatars, and the Apeiron surpasses all his avatars, seeing them as nothing but fiction. The Apeiron is truly beyond all. No, he is even higher than that. Being the supreme and absolute God, he is even higher than this concept. He surpasses absolutely everything. And when I say everything, I mean true everything. Any concept, essence, matter, object, subject, etc. is included in everything. If something is not included in the concept of everything, or existed outside of everything, then this is obviously not real everything. In fact, this is just a meaningless concept in his book. The Apeiron is absolutely indescribable, and even dissipability, or whatever is beyond that, is not enough for the concept of the Apeiron. We cannot even hope to begin to understand the narrator trying to describe the Apeiron, and even an avatar of the Apeiron. We describe only its aspects. He is also outside of any semantics, and therefore everything that we can or cannot come up with is completely incapable of approaching his true essence, even the smallest bit of his essence. Apeiron is usually called Apeiron because he is the Apeiron of all of creation. His main power is simply beyond everything a character has, no matter how indescribable or inconceivable the character is. It's the supreme lord of everything that you can ever think of. It has all the abilities inherent in any being, and even those that no one has ever thought about and is not in any character. Even the ones who transcend all these are still fiction. They are just simple avatars trying to comprehend God itself. It is connected and the creator of all hierarchies and cosmologies. He created all of these in the spiral itself, which only he himself can surpass it with his almighty pencil and page. He is truly beyond all characters. Anything trying to be above Apeiron will just fail, and it doesn't matter if they steal Apeiron abilities and powers. He doesn't need those because everything is imaginary to itself. It is inferior even to the place it is. Currently, it's even beyond the concept of impossibility just by doing that, since no one, and I mean no one, can be beyond Apeiron. In the end, they are only words on a page. he has the abilities that all character has and the ones that no being has or has ever thought of. So, basically, he has the abilities which any and every character has, and the ones that no character has or any being has thought of, and it cannot be destroyed by anything that ever existed. No one cannot cause him damage, and if the creature causes him damage, then he instantly becomes stronger than the enemy and transcends, as in fact, everything that you see are fiction to Apeiron, and he honestly explores and wonders on creation itself. In fact, he embodies the true principles of true omnipotence, true omniscience, and true omnipresence, and in his own spiral. Let's imagine in our real world, if you believe in a religious figure, or something you obviously are not aware of his existence, and you know he is beyond yourself, as you have no chance. This is the same to all characters compared to Apeiron as. In fact, let's imagine all characters together going to fight Apeiron. All of them are just avatars and names for itself. Well, imagine this. Does not take any effort for Apeiron, like if we wake up from a dream. No effort required, and they are all fiction in your head. This is Apeiron. We are only imaginary to him. He's more than, but even we humans can't figure out where Apeiron exists. As when Apeiron sees a character, he instantly gets the character's powers or taxes or abilities, including the ones that are said Apeiron cannot steal and gain abilities. He is already beyond all these statements. Apeiron has an extent of different forms, and each one surpasses the other as fiction. Going beyond is just a dream to them. Here are his forms: Pre-Rectin Apeiron, Basic Apeiron, Berserk Apeiron, Supreme Apeiron, God of Creation Apeiron, God of Destruction Apeiron, Cosmic Apeiron, Omega Apeiron, True Form Apeiron, God of Narrators Apeiron, True Form Apeiron. So since all the Apeirons you're seeing aren't even the true Apeirons, since all of them are fictional and aren't real, they are avatars to the true Apeirons. These avatars are seen as absolute nothingness to the true face of Apeiron. No one knows who or where he is. Even if you fuse all Apeiron forms all in one together, it will still be the same answer. It is an infinitesimal avatar from real Apeiron. The Apeiron has avatars, and they transcend all of these. In fact, an elementary particle transcends all these. Nothing can be real to the face of Apeiron, even his own avatars as well. Nothing can be real, and nothing can apply to him. Only if he wants to. His avatars are nothing compared to his own beauty. The entire page so far was actually his own avatars so far. Even with the statements, he is absolute Apeiron plus. Let me just give you one example. Let there be an infinite number of tier 0 characters. They would be nothing compared to the Apeiron. Estace. Estace is extremely powerful character in Fire S mythos. Estace 1. King of Darkness Estace. True Form Estace. Estace is the main antagonist and villain in the myths of Fire S. He was an ordinary man, but became God, and then even surpassed the gods. He has all the abilities that exist, and even those that do not exist, from which his extremely powerful healing factor can be distinguished, and the more damage is caused to him, the more he is healed. Estace is so strong that it took Fire S, Shikanama, Aerith, True, Reaper, Amio, and Teres to stop him for a while. Estace's swords are the most powerful weapons in fiction, reality, and beyond reality. With the swing of his sword, he is able to demolish the entire afterlife hierarchy. One day, Estace went to the Shadow Realm to fight the Darkness for the throne. The Darkness was surprised that someone wanted to challenge him, but he didn't worry much because he thought he was another weakling with a big ego. But he was wrong. As soon as the fight began, Estace killed the Darkness in less than a moment, but something happened after the fight. There was an explosion that looked like a big explosion, and this explosion took all the power and energy from all the creatures in the kingdom, including the Darkness and the kingdom itself, and went inside Estace, and all this dark energy and everything else made him go crazy. And so King Estace of Darkness appeared. In this form, he is able to crush any opponent. With one dark blast, he is able to destroy the place of everything. After he became king, he remade the entire kingdom just by thinking about it. And then he made a chair and sat down in his chair, and so many creatures challenged him, and just thinking that they all died, they really died. He continued to do this for 17 decillion years, until he had the idea that he wanted to destroy the entire high narrative, every being, everything. So he created an army. How strong is his army? He endowed each member of his team with a power equal to the power of true Shapefire S. After he created his army, he first went to Teres, who was there with his 5 generals. When Teres and his 5 generals saw Estace in the shadows, they first said hello and asked what he was doing here. But then they saw Estace in the shadows. They first said hello and asked what he was doing here. But then they saw what he looked like and his army behind him. Teres asked again what he was doing, but Estace just smiled. Teres said menacingly, "I will ask you again. What are you doing, Estace?" Estace's smile grew wider and then he raised his hand, pointed to Teres and his 5 generals and said, "Die." So Estace's army started a war with Teres and his 5 generals, and it ended very quickly with the death of Teres and his 5 generals. The true form of Estace is Estace, but quite different from when he is in his usual form. When he is in this form, his mind, his strength, his speed, everything changes. Estace became the level of the supreme narrative and already posed a significant threat to the narrator. At least that's what he thought. When Estace in true form attacked the narrator, he and his entire army were killed instantly. After his death, Estace ended up in the fixed dream realm, where he spent a very long time until Nashika met him. After a long conversation with him, the goddess reported that the narrator forgave Estace and gave him her swords. Estace corrected himself, and a temporary anomaly occurred. Estace returned to true form at the height of his powers. His army was alive and ruined the high narrative, destroying all possible branches. What happened next can be read here. Example 1. Even if a character is beyond fiction, Estace will easily defeat him. Example 2. If a character disappears from the plot, Estace will still erase him from existence. Example 3. Let there be a power. It can manipulate tier 0 characters. This power does not work on Estace. It is at least high Apeiron plus, because it transcends religion and philosophies. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.